Okay, so here in this chapter, you are looking at remembering some formulas, which is not that bad. It is a very um, sort of very limited sort of formulas. Okay, so here's what we got: the standard cost information for each product, right? And we will have actual information for each product, right? And we need to compare, and we need to find some variances, which is just the difference. Okay, so remember, we have some idea of standard costs. How So we'll provide you that information. So for a product which is X tonic, okay, and your unit measure is 1 gallon. So 1 gallon of X tonic, it requires a direct material of 4 pounds. This is standard quantity. Okay, this is what you think the standard. Remember, we talked about standard in the video, that this is what it takes. It includes some spoilage, it includes something goes wrong, wastage as well. So but this is what it requires. That's called standard. And then there's a standard price, which also includes the freight and handling and all that. So that's the standard quantity and standard price. The total standard cost for direct material is $12 for each of that gallon. For direct labor, it is 2 hours for standard quantity of labor. Remember, it takes away that downtime, rest time, that we was talking about. So it has that standard price. This price also includes the vacation pay for the employee. So we included all that in there. And then so the standard cost for direct labor for this 1 gallon is $30, and manufacturing overhead is two hours of direct labor, because this is based on direct labor. And the predetermined rate is $5, so it makes it 10. So manufacturing overhead is, I'm not emphasizing too much here. So my focus is on the first two, and we will find out the variances. Okay, so it's remembering the formulas and calculating the variances that are important for the first two. So your total standard cost per unit is 52, right? This is information that's given. So just to repeat, whenever your actual cost is less than standard, what does it tell you? It tells you that it's good, right? Because your actual costs, you're spending even less than your standards, which is standards are normal, normal to the company, that this is what it should cost. But if your actual is better, then that means that your company, your employees, your department must be doing something nice, right? That's why your costs are less. So it's a favorable variance. But whenever your actual costs are greater than your standard costs, it's an unfavorable variance, right? So this is the idea. So a variance is favorable if actual costs are less than budget costs, less than standard costs, of course less than standard costs, because in this chapter we are focused on your standard costs. We are not focused on on the budgeted costs in this chapter. Okay, so now the problem keeps going. Remember, I'm gonna do this problem, and this is the emphasis of this chapter. So assume that it says, in producing 1,000 gallons of tonic in the month of June, extra incurred. So now they give you for 1,000 gallons the actual cost. This is actual. And then the total standard cost for X tonic is $52,000, 1,000 into gallon. So this is the difference, right? It's 52 is your standard, your 55 is your actual, which is made up of all those overheads and direct labor and direct material. So we will give you, this is actual direct material, and this is your standard. Please calculate the variances, right? The difference. So the difference in this case for the total cost is $3,000, because your actual costs are 55,000 and your standards is 52,000. This is all coming from the previous numbers that we created. Remember, this is the standards. So this is information, you create that, because it's 52 here. You take 52 multiplied by 1,000 gallons of X tonic. Your standards is giving you $52,000. So your total variance is that. So now let's calculate the direct material variances. This is the first formula that you need to remember. Okay, I'm gonna try to make it easy for you, but the formula is actual quantity into actual price minus standard quantity into standard price will give you your total materials variances. So actual quantity into actual price. Actual quantity is how much? Actual quantity is 4,200 pounds, and your actual price is 3.10, right? So I hope we did it right. Yes. So you got $13,020. Now standard quantity into standard price. Now remember the how are you gonna find your standard quantity? Remember it is 1,000 pounds, and how many pounds you need. If you remember your number, it was 4 pounds. So if you want to get your total quantity, which is standard, you're going to multiply that by 4, which is 4,000, right? And then, so this is 4,000 instead of 4,200. So I'm going to clean this off and put here 4,000, multiply by standard price, which is, standard price is given here, $3. It was given before too, so $3. And if you do that calculation, your number should come out to be 1020. So why it's unfavorable? Because your actual is greater than your standard, right? And this is your total material variances. This is like overall we are saying that your we just don't know whether it's because of the price or because of the quantity. Okay, that's, we don't know at this point. All we know is that overall your materials variance is unfavorable by 1020. Okay, now we can dig in further and find out, is it because our price for the material sorry about that, it is because of the price is bad, was higher in the actual, or is it because we had a lot of wastage and our employees were inefficient in using those materials, right? So now that can be determined if we dig in further into it by using this formula, which is called the materials price variance. Okay, that formula is actual quantity into actual price and actual quantity into standard price. You need to memorize this formula. Okay, and so if you put down these values, your actual quantity into actual price, you just calculated that earlier, 4,200 multiplied by 30. Your actual quantity is 4,200, right? Multiplied by standard price is $3. If you do that, it's going to be 12,600. So this is going to be an unfavorable because your actual price is 310 and your standard price, this number, 310 and $3. So actual price is much higher than the actual than the standard price. That's why you have a 420 unfavorable variance. You gotta remember that we always multiply by actual quantity in this case whenever we determine direct materials variances. And then for the materials quantity variance, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna tell you that here our purchasing department guy, who the guy or a male or a female, whoever that person is buying at a expensive price, right? We know who now to talk to, because this is coming from a price variance 420. What 420? Because you had a 1020 unfavorable variance. 420 of it is coming from your purchasing department because they're buying material at a higher price. So now we gotta meet with the purchasing department guy, and for our the other variance is called materials quantity variance. Here the formula is actual quantity into standard price, standard quantity into standard price. Actual quantity is 4,200 into standard price is $3. Actual quantity is 4,200 into standard price is $3. Actually, there's a mistake here I have done. So instead of actual quantity, this is standard quantity. which is 4,000. So again, this is unfavorable because your actual quantity is a lot more than 4,000. Now this is normally, now we have to talk to the production department because these people are wasting a lot more material, right? There's something going on. So if you calculate that answer, it is $600 unfavorable. So remember now your $1,020 unfavorable variance. Um, 400, about 400 of it is coming from the price variance, and the other one, 600, is coming from the quantity variance. This is maybe we gotta talk purchasing department. While this is going to be um, the production department because there's some wastage here. Maybe we our quantity is bad because this is a low quality material that we are buying, so there's a lot of wastage. Okay, so